Welcome to Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda. I'm Nadjejda Chapoteau. I am an empowerment coach, spiritual teacher, and speaker. I am passionate about dance. I love to dance. If you follow me on social media, you'll know this. I am also passionate about social justice, politics, um, spiritual growth, love. I am a lover of nature. I love the beach. And I am also passionate about making a difference. Specifically, one of the things about it's about making a difference in causes that matter to me, like empowering women and children in my homeland, Haiti, empowering women and children all around the world. I am very much specific, which is very much tied into my coaching work, is I'm passionate about empowering and inspiring women to really embrace themselves, reconnect with themselves, know who they really are, love it, love who they are, and share their message boldly with the world. I'm all about speaking my truth. So, as a coach, I help women entrepreneurs experience ease, clarity, fun, confidence in their businesses by discovering their message and finding their niche. So today it's me again. I'm thinking that obviously I will keep bringing guests, but I think I'm gonna start. I might be doing a lot more of those. I think this is my third time doing this on my own. I think I will still have the majority as guests, but I think I really want to do this. More often than the way because basically, obviously, I am on so this would be my 32nd episode, I believe. And out of the 30, 32 episode, I've had 3 with me. So I don't want it to be half with me alone, but I definitely am truly embracing this opportunity where I can get to share myself a lot more with you all. So today I wanted to share about one of the things that has been the hardest. Well, it's not even one of the things, to be quite honest. What I want to share about, it's actually something that I started sharing on my Facebook Live this week. So I know some of you on YouTube may be listening to this later on, but sorry, not YouTube, iTunes, which is Apple Podcasts now. You might be listening to this later on, but today's so this is November 6th, the week of November 6th, and it's gonna be on my website on November 9th. So you all will probably get it within November 16th, November 23rd, the latest. So this week I had a conversation. I shared on my Facebook page how I don't believe I always attract I just came up with something as I was sharing this with you all. As you could see, I'm all about being myself. I said that I don't believe I don't believe I always attract who I am or what I put out. Because you know how they say with the law of attraction, we're often told you attract who you are. Some people say you attract what you put out. And I have to say, for a long time, for me, at first I didn't really get it. And at first I kind of felt bad because it made me feel like bad. And yes, so much as I believe that to a certain extent, I just, while I'm sharing this with you, here's what I will say. We don't always attract who we are. We don't always attract what we put out. We attract what we need. Because here's what I was going to say is that I believe the universe, and I'm going to give an example. Well, I'll give an example of me. I would say in some way, I grew up in a home, love my family and everything, but in my home, and it's not just in my family, I think a lot of Caribbean cultures, a lot of Latin cultures, maybe even and maybe even some American families, maybe African Americans, I don't know. Well, I'll have to find out from my African American friends. In some way, boundaries are not a thing. Actually, boundaries can be seen as kind of like you being rude to your family members, because in some ways, like, sort of like everything goes in a way for certain people. So, for example, someone like me who grew up with, not really much boundaries, what happens is as I'm learning, growing, and doing the work, studying A Course in Miracles, looking to see my codependent behaviors and healing from them, you start learning that you need to stand up for yourself. You need to, you need to set boundaries with people in your life. And the thing is that what happens is many of us is that we get a pushback from people. And the thing is that we're gonna attract situations with our family members and with other people, and that's been my experience at times, is that it's been my path that I've attracted, it's gotten better, but I'm attracting sometimes people who are not respecting my boundaries. And the thing is that if I were to listen to some of these people who are saying that I'm attracting who I am, yeah, maybe I need to look at, am I respecting other people's boundaries? But if I know I am, I'm not attracting who I am, and I'm not attracting what I'm putting out. The thing is that I'm actually attracting what I need, which is that the universe is asking me to step up and build my boundary setting muscles. So that's why I believe that we attract not who we are, but we attract what we need, okay? So the thing is that, for me, it's the boundaries. Also, another thing that I struggle with in the past is that I would think it's my fault. This is happening because it's my fault. And that's why I think in some way, I suffered. There were times where I really suffered. I would take people's stuff. If I was in a relationship and my boyfriend or the guy I was dating, whatever, was acting a certain way, I would take it as it's my fault. And really, it's not my fault, it's their thing. And it's not even, the word of fault, and not because that's the word it's being used, because there's a difference with it's my fault and it's my responsibility, because responsibility really makes you, I guess in a way they could be used the same way, but, we could take responsibility for our part, but what happens is that when you, in some way, your codependent stuff can be, some of it can be that you think everything is your fault or you're responsible for everything. You take other people's shit. And I have to say that, that's what I would do. And the thing is that, and even in my business, in interaction sometimes with other entrepreneurs, I started noticing that there were times where for me, didn't do much, and people would get distant, or they would do certain things, and then I would think, okay, is this about me? And I came to realize, no, this is not about me. This is their stuff. The thing is that I have chosen, by feeling bad or thinking, is it about me, and thinking, what can I do to make it better? That's me I've chosen to take their stuff, because everybody is going through stuff. And the thing is that, and I was like, I would ask myself, why am I attracted? Like, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And I kept thinking, it's not like I would have them all the time, but it happened quite a few times where I really had to pay attention, especially I'm somebody who is really looking at, really looking to grow and doing inner work. But also, I also got to see I have this tendency that I'm still working through, because when you've been doing something for years, you're not going to get over, you're not going to heal from it overnight. If it took you, it's like people say that, and actually just today I was watching an episode with Marie Forleo. Great episode, I love it, with this guy, Louis, I can't remember his last name, but basically he's, I think he used to be a football player, I'm not sure, but either way, he wrote a book, and he was
he was sexually molested as a child by a man. And he talks about the whole thing about, men not being vulnerable and because of the stuff they've been through. But either way, one of the things that, he says he finds himself doing stuff until now. And the thing is that what we have to get is that, and that's what I've gotten, is that, and sometimes I'd love to hear from some of you when you listen to this, if you can relate. How many of you who are doing that type of inner work that you've been doing, and when stuff happens, you're like, wait a minute, I don't love myself that much? Is it that I don't love myself? All this work that I've done, am I a fraud? I'm not good in whatever it is that you're like telling yourself, wait a minute, where has all this work gone? And because what we expect to heal from stuff, and we expect to not still have behaviors that we have been, that we've had for 10, 20, 30 years, for some of us, if not 40, 50, in a matter of 10 years, or in a matter of 5 years, in a matter of a year or two. No. So what I was getting is that I'm attracting, and I've been attracting these experiences because it's the universe's way, its gut way of telling me, okay, well, now let's practice. Let's, practice not taking people's stuff. Practice not being responsible for what other people are going through or what they're saying. Be compassionate. Have conversation. Check to see if maybe something is, like I had somebody, don't want to get into the details that I need to respect their privacy, but I had somebody recently, where the person needed help with something, and then I offered them the feedback they needed. And it seems as if, I'm not sure, but it seems as if they may not have been happy with my feedback. Because when I gave it to them and they asked me for more, I was very honest about my thought. And I never heard anything. And this person was supposed to reach out to me for other stuff, and this person is no longer interacting with me the same way. And I was talking to one of my cousins about it, and he's amazing. Like, 'cause I feel like sometimes we really have deep conversations. It's great for you. Not sometimes, so I feel. I know we do. And I was just telling my sister about it the other day. I told him about this, and he's like, well, why don't you ask her? Like, how was your, what do you think about my feedback? Like, ask her. So he was like, have conversation, because he's like, don't just stay and thinking that she has something with you, actually ask her. So I actually did that, and she never replied. So yeah, maybe it could be, but you know what it is? Whatever it is that's going on with her, it's on her. And like my sister said to me before, she was like, well, you know what? That's her stuff. You can choose to make it your own, but it's really not your own to make. So, I am really learning this. I am really learning where, I need to be firm with people, even with clients at times. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not somebody where people just roll over me with my clients, but I've had to learn to really set boundaries. And when somebody doesn't respect the boundaries, where I tell them, hey, this is what works for me, and really be firm about it and not be rude. Because here's the thing, I think when I first started like setting boundaries and speaking my truth, it was messy. And now I'm not saying I have it down pat, but it's like I am practicing. So what I want you to really get from this is that, yes, sometimes the low energy, if we're putting out low energy, if we are, we need to be mindful of our energies. Yes, allow yourself to feel what you need to feel, but don't be down. I'm talking to you, fellow entrepreneurs, especially those of us in the online world, and actually even anywhere else. Don't post just to post. If you're feeling like shit, don't go and post. Unless, actually, I know for myself, there's been times where I feel like crap, and I do a Facebook Live, and I feel good again. That's different. But if you're feeling like you're in a funk, and I think sometimes for me, maybe it's because for me, my thing is speaking. Maybe it's the energy that's flowing when I speak. It tends to make me feel better. But posting, if I'm just writing a post or something, I notice that if I do it and I don't feel good just because I feel like, oh my God, I need to post today, or I haven't posted enough or whatever, I do it just to do it and I don't feel good, guess what? Your energy that's what you're putting out into the universe. If you're, putting out offers and you don't feel good about the offer, you don't feel good right now, don't post, don't do it. And I was just yesterday, I heard my coach, Jen Scalia, I'm going to give her credit for that. She said something that was so powerful. She was saying how those of us entrepreneurs, that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, is that if we don't feel comfortable about a post, we can or on an offer, we can just change it. And nobody, sometimes we think, oh my God, somebody's going to say something. No, we're the ones who are thinking it. So we have the freedom to do that. We have the freedom to say, you know what, I don't feel good today. I'm not going to show up today, without even having to call somebody. Of course, if you have a client, let your client know. But if it's a day that you don't have a client and you don't have any calls, you can just, or even if you have a call, you let people know, but you do it. You don't have to think about what are they going to think about. Well, you could still do that if you want to, but it's like you're not calling your boss and saying, oh, I'm not going to make it or whatever. So I think that's so beautiful. So here's the thing that I really want you to get, and I want you to say thank you. Like, say thank you. I remember, I don't know if you guys saw this episode from when I had the money healer here, where we talked about healing our money stories. One of the things that she shared that I thought was so powerful, and for me it was a powerful reminder, because I always remembered that they say, thank you for the experience, even when somebody hurts you, even if it's a painful experience. And I've practiced that. And when she came, she reminded me of that powerful practice of saying thank you for everything. So all the stuff, everything that you're going through right now, all the circumstances, all the situations, all the relationships in your life that you are being challenged by. Yes, the good ones, I know it's very easy for us to say thank you, but the ones that you are being challenged by, they are gifts, because it's the universe, it's God's way of making you stronger, of really helping you become the woman that you were brought to be, helping you be like strong, helping you, like for me, it's like, don't take people's shit. I don't want to use that term. Don't take people's stuff and make it your own. Don't make it your own. Set those boundaries and, practice it. When people try things that they're going to, walk all over you, or I wouldn't even say, because sometimes I don't know if people are trying to walk all over you. I think here's what I think, people are trying to do what they want to do. And when you're in a partnership, whether it's a business partnership, through work clients, or just two people collaborating, or family relationships, siblings, friends, partners, is that people do need to know that they need to respect your boundaries. So I don't think people are trying to walk all over us, which is what we think, but people are just trying to do what works for them. And we could just tell them that doesn't work. So that's all I wanted to share with you today, is just really for you to know that, it's one of the things that has taken me the hardest to get, is that now I really got it, is that, when I was like, no, I don't attract who I am. I don't attract what I put out always. Again, sometimes I do, but not always. But what I get is that I always get what I need. And it's either the thing that I've been waiting on, I wanted to get, or it's the thing that may not feel good, but it's the lesson. Well, it's not the lesson. It's the universe, God is asking me to practice and build that muscle around whatever it is that I need to learn, and I need to let go of, and I need to build up and build those muscles around. So I hope you find this helpful. I'd love to hear from you. Does this resonate with you? I really love to hear from you, because I think especially for us women, a lot of us deal with this, and I think it's very something that we need to really be open and do the work and say thank you. So if you are, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you don't want to miss any more, and you are not subscribed to my email list, I would, you don't want to miss any other episodes. If you don't want to miss, if you want to see them as they come out every Thursday, I will be taking a break, just so you know. I will be taking a break from episodes. So those of you on Apple Podcasts, and there's a delay because I started this much sooner than I started putting them, months before I started putting them on Apple Podcasts. Just so you all know, there's gonna be a break sometime towards the end of the month, and I'm still debating like December. Probably I may not be back until next year. I'm gonna be sharing more about that soon. So either way, if you don't want to miss any of those, because we still have 3 more, if not more episodes to go, or maybe I might just do more of myself in there. So I just want you to subscribe to my email list below the video that you're watching me here on my website, or if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, visit my website, www.lovelightcoaching.com, www.lovelightcoaching.com. When you go, you'll see the page under the video. Under it, you'll see there's a box. Put in your name, your email address. Subscribe to my email list. Once you subscribe, you will get every Thursday in your inbox a new episode. If there's an interruption, like I said, I plan on having one. I will let you know when it's going to be and for how long exactly. And also, you can, when you subscribe, within a few minutes of confirming your subscription, you're going to get my free gift to you, which is my 7 questions to help you reconnect with yourself and have a aligned message in your business. These are questions that I've used myself, so they are really spot on, and they will help you have that aligned message. And also, every Tuesday, aside from other times where I pop in with offers or I pop in with something that I want to share with my email subscribers, but every Tuesday you'll get tips, inspiration. You'll get a tip, an inspiration, a video, or a blog from me. So I hope you will go ahead and subscribe. And those of you on Apple Podcasts, I also would love for you to subscribe to Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. I would love to hear from you. And another thing is, I'm also, I'd love to hear, are there specific topics? Is there something that you are struggling with in your business or maybe even in your life? And let me know, because for me, I created this to really offer value to my audience, and that's why I also chose a wide range of topics, because I know as women entrepreneurs, we're not just dealing with our businesses. We have lives, we have relationships, we have health stuff, we have we have views when it comes to social justice and politics. I know I do. Spirituality, self-care, self-love. So I really want you to let me know, what do you want to see more of, especially since I'm taking that break. And that's also why I'm taking that break, is that I really want to be able to bring in more quality stuff. And I really want to hear from you. That's one of the things. If you join my email list, I'm going to be asking you all, and I'm asking you right now to let me know, what topics do you want me to bring experts to talk about, if it's not my expertise, and what topics do you want me to talk about too when I do these episodes where I go on my own. So thank you again for joining me today. Love and light to you all. Take care.